Hello and welcome back to my channel, Return to Cosmic Law, where today we're going to be speaking about the female principle and gender. Because Ra created almost every living creature as either male or female, and on the physical level, the determining factor for that is most clearly revealed in their genitals. The two basically hold the same shape, only one in the positive and one in the negative form, because they were designed to fit together perfectly. For us humans, gender defines us as man and women. But sacred art focuses on the metaphysical level, which looks at the causes and principles that lie behind the physical realm. When Ra created the netters or cosmic laws, he created each one as either a male or female principle. Now the gender connection is important because the most powerful natural energy we have is sexual energy. And what we're speaking about here are the netters, which are energetic principles. In the temple teaching, the hidden meaning of the female principle is that which contains, and the male, that which is contained. It has nothing to do with being a man or a woman on the physical level. And what is the temple teaching? Well, the temple teaching is based on the understanding of the netters, and it shows you just how to use and manipulate those energies for your own purposes. The temple teaching fully endorses the words written on the emerald tablets, as above, so below, and as below, so above. And the genius of this teaching lies in using familiar things from the physical realm to explain otherwise unfathomable phenomena in the metaphysical realm. I already explained this in how the genitals reveal the concept of that which contains, and how sexual energy is the most powerful that we have as humans. Yet further, at the climax of their union, not only is the male member completely contained within the female, but his seed, his greatest creative potential, is released into the female, who then contains it also. Now apply that to the metaphysical realm and try to understand just what the female principle entails. As I've shown, one of its main properties is the capacity to hold. So how does that work? Well, let's give a simple example. Say you want to buy a battery for your radio. What you really want is the electrical energy that is contained within the cells and chemicals of the battery itself. In this example, the energy plays the part of the male principle, and the battery the female. And in addition, and this is important, the container allows you to move that energy to wherever you want it. The Egyptian creation myths speak exclusively about the revelation of cosmic law, which are those principles that cause the physical realm to come into being. And with the netters, the great sages added a symbol to the ending of each female netter's name to make this distinction completely clear. For English speakers, this may seem a little confusing, but in many languages, all nouns are qualified as either male or female, yet a cat can still be male or female. Ra often created the netters in pairs as twins. Very few netters were created as individual entities, and these include Nu, Atum, Neith, and Maat, for example. But each of these act as either a male or female principle. Hapi, who is sometimes called androgynous, is clearly a male principle, the sagging breast he supports being a purely symbolic device of just how long he has been nourishing and supporting Egypt. And although it's not written with the determinative, Nu perfectly embodies the principle of that which contains. In the temple teaching, many of the stereotyped ideas we have about male and female are reversed. For example, in numerology, the odd numbers are female and the even ones male. And what we think of as Mother Earth is a male principle, Geb. In general, the female principles are much more active than the males. Remember how Isis conceived a child from Osiris after he was dead? And in the animal kingdom, the lioness is a much more fierce hunter than the lion. I'm sure many of you are wondering how Sekhmet fits into all this, and of course the controversial figures of Hatshepsut and Akhenaten, and I'll be getting to each of those in individual videos later. But Sekhmet's name is she who contains all power, and I'm sure many of you have already gathered that intuitively, even without my interpretation. And Hatshepsut and Akhenaten definitely fit into this discussion, since they both played highly important and unique roles in the history of the temple teaching. Plus, they also highlight the difference between male and female on the physical and metaphysical levels. They both embodied the royal principle, which acts as a bridge or intermediary between the physical and metaphysical realms. That is, as humans operating with all the powers of the netters. And in moving from the role of queen to king, Hatshepsut effectively became both that which contains and that which is contained, which is an extremely rare achievement for anyone. Akhenaten is a completely different story. Yet staying with our theme of the female principle, as king he often portrayed himself with many of the attributes of this principle. Again, it had nothing to do with him as a man on the physical level, yet part of his mission was to close the cycle of energetic changes that Hatshepsut had begun. And he had to make radical moves to accomplish this. Each of the netters is a perfect embodiment of either the male or the female principle, and I wish to make it clear that this idea is completely unrelated to the New Age concept of the divine feminine. Nowadays, many people are confused about just what it means to be a man or a woman. So take a minute, think of the emerald tablet and how what is above is reflected in what is below and vice versa. Take a look at nature and see how these principles operate there, because the two are quite different. While every species has its own particular characteristics, the woman remains she who contains and carries the child in her womb. The man cannot do that. Well, I hope today's video shed more light on the meaning of the female principle in Egyptian art. And when it did, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel, you can click on the link below to buy me a coffee. And regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, the male and female principles are both operating within you, and the netters serve to remind you of just that. Thanks for watching.